Welcome back to the channel where we remember the stars who once brought magic into our lives, the faces who made us laugh, cry, and believe in something bigger than ourselves. Today, we revisit the world of Matilda, a movie that captured childhood wonder in the purest form. But behind the joy and color, time has taken its toll. Some of the actors who gave life to that unforgettable story are no longer with us. In this video, we honor those beloved cast members who have passed away, sharing their final moments, the characters they played, and the legacy they left behind. These are the stars who helped shape a classic, and now live on in memory. Paul Reubens, the unforgettable American actor and comedian best known for creating the iconic character Pee-wee Herman, passed away on July 30, 2023, at the age of 70 after a private and painful 6-year battle with cancer. He died from acute hypoxic respiratory failure caused by acute myelogenous leukemia and metastatic lung cancer, a diagnosis he never shared publicly until after his death, leaving fans heartbroken but full of respect for his quiet strength. While his most famous creation, Pee-wee Herman, became a cultural phenomenon in the 1980s through Pee-wee's Big Adventure and the Emmy-winning Pee-wee's Playhouse, Paul also took on smaller but memorable roles, including his brief appearance in the 1996 film Matilda, where he played Bob, a stern FBI agent investigating Matilda's shady father. Unlike the quirky hyper Pee-wee, this role showed Paul's range, his ability to drop the eccentricities and disappear into a grounded, serious character. Born Paul Rubenfeld in Peekskill, New York, and raised in Sarasota, Florida, Paul was captivated by circus life and theater from a young age, eventually earning a degree from CalArts and joining the famed Groundlings improv troupe, where Pee-wee was born. His dedication to the Pee-wee persona was so complete that for a decade he gave every public interview in character, blurring the line between actor and creation. Though his career was shaken by scandal in the early 90s, he slowly rebuilt, appearing in Blow, Batman Returns, and shows like Murphy Brown, 30 Rock, and The Blacklist, always finding a way to connect with audiences through wit and vulnerability. He was also a lifelong supporter of Make-A-Wish, visiting terminally ill children in full costume to bring them joy. Paul never married, kept his private life deeply guarded, and only after his death did the world learn he was gay, having spent much of his life quietly struggling with acceptance in a fame-driven world. His final years were spent largely out of the spotlight, yet always working on something creative, giving us Pee-wee's Big Holiday on Netflix and appearing in beloved TV shows with the same quiet brilliance he always brought. In a posthumous statement he left behind, he apologized for hiding his illness and thanked his fans for their unwavering love and support. Paul Reubens wasn't just a man in a bow tie and red bike. He was a one-of-a-kind artist who made generations laugh while carrying his own pain in silence. He now rests at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, leaving behind a legacy filled with joy, color, and deep humanity that will never be forgotten. Speegle Howard, the gentle and gifted American actress who portrayed the kind-hearted librarian Mrs. Phelps in the 1996 film Matilda, passed away on September 2, 2000, in Burbank, California, from complications related to heart and respiratory illness. She was 73 years old. Her role in Matilda may have been small in screen time, but it left a lasting emotional impact. Mrs. Phelps was the warm, encouraging presence who nurtured Matilda's love of books, and through her quiet compassion, Jean brought an unforgettable sense of kindness and safety to that character. Born Jean Frances Speegle on January 31, 1927, in Duncan, Oklahoma, Her path to acting was shaped by both passion and adversity. After a serious car accident in 1946 left her unable to walk for months, she showed remarkable strength by returning to the stage just a year later, studying acting at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York and performing in theater during her early years. She met her future husband, actor Rance Howard, while touring with a children's theater company, and the two married in 1949, going on to raise a family together. Jean stepped away from her acting career for nearly 3 decades to focus on raising their 2 sons, Ron and Clint, both of whom would go on to have successful careers in Hollywood. It wasn't until the mid-1980s, well into her 50s, that Jean returned to acting full-time and began one of the most powerful chapters of her life. She became a cherished character actress in film and television, appearing in over 60 screen roles including Cocoon, Scrooged, The Paper, Black Sheep, My Fellow Americans, and the Oscar-nominated Apollo 13, directed by her son Ron, where she portrayed Jim Lovell's proud mother. Her line, "If they could get a washing machine to fly, my Jimmy could land it," became a fan favorite and a touching moment of maternal pride. She was seen regularly on TV throughout the 80s and 90s, with memorable appearances in Roseanne, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Grace Under Fire, Married, with children, Lois and Clark, and more, even off-screen. Jean's love for the arts never dimmed. Ron Howard often spoke about how deeply she believed in storytelling, how she would help with his short films as a teenager, and how she supported every creative dream with quiet strength. Her death was a deep loss not only for her family, but for fans who appreciated the natural warmth and wisdom she brought to every role. After her passing, Ron honored her memory in the film How the Grinch Stole Christmas with a dedication at the end credits that read, "For Jean Speegle Howard, who loved Christmas the most." Her legacy lives on through the countless lives she touched on screen and off, through the children she raised, the characters she brought to life, and the quiet, steady love she poured into everything she did. Jean Speegle Howard wasn't just a talented actress, she was the heart of a family and the soul behind roles that made people feel seen, safe, and understood. Martin Bregman, the legendary American film producer whose name became synonymous with some of the most iconic films of the 20th century, passed away on June 16, 2018, at the age of 92 from a cerebral hemorrhage, leaving behind a towering legacy of cinematic excellence and a deep emotional imprint on the film world. Best known for his close collaboration with Al Pacino, Bregman discovered the young actor in an off-Broadway play and mentored him through an extraordinary rise, producing timeless classics like Serpico 1973, Dog Day Afternoon 1975, Scarface 1983, Sea of Love 1989, and Carlito's Way 1993, films that not only defined Pacino's career, but also reshaped American cinema with their raw intensity and moral complexity. Bregman's influence extended beyond Pacino, as he also managed and worked with icons like Barbra Streisand, Woody Allen, Alan Alda, Faye Dunaway, and Bette Midler, proving himself not just as a producer, but as a champion of talent, a facilitator in the truest sense, as Pacino once lovingly called him. His involvement in the film Matilda 1996, though less widely recognized compared to his crime dramas, is another testament to his versatility, as he lent his creative support to the adaptation of Roald Dahl's beloved children's book. A film cherished by generations for its charm, magic, and heart, his role in shepherding such diverse projects speaks to his range and deep understanding of storytelling. Raised in the Bronx and having survived polio as a child, Bregman's journey from nightclub agent to one of Hollywood's most respected producers is one of resilience, brilliance, and vision. He also formed meaningful collaborations with Alan Alda, producing heartfelt films like The Four Seasons, Sweet Liberty, and Betsy's Wedding, showcasing his gift for both intimate human stories and grand cinematic epics. Beyond Hollywood, he was active in civic life, co-founding the Association for a Better New York and serving on the New York Advisory Council for Motion Pictures. His loss was deeply felt not just by the industry, but by the many stars and collaborators who viewed him as family. Survived by his wife Cornelia Sharp, whom he met on the set of Serpico, their daughter Marissa, and two sons from a previous marriage, Christopher and Michael, the latter a producer himself. Martin Bregman's death closed a chapter on an era of filmmaking defined by guts, artistry, and unshakable belief in raw talent. His touch may not have been front and center in Matilda, but his spirit as a producer, committed to unique voices, authentic characters, and meaningful storytelling, echoes in every frame of the films he touched, and his memory lives on not just through the movies, but through the hearts of all who loved them.